What is cryptocurrency?
What is Bitcoin?
What about Ethereum?
Bitcoin is a swarm of cyber hornets serving the goddess of wisdom.
This is a question that's becoming more and more common. And if you're watching, probably one you've asked yourself.
Digital currencies tick higher to kick off the week.
Crypto is a cheat code to increase your wealth.
Anywhere from 27 to 28% of the people in our country either own or use crypto.
If you're like most people, then finding a straightforward answer can be confusing. You've probably heard different opinions on cryptocurrency. Some skeptical.
So I'm not bullish on Bitcoin. And
Bitcoin itself is a hyped up fraud.
Bitcoin is worthless artificial gold.
And some optimistic.
Institutional investors are beginning to pile in.
Is Bitcoin the new gold?
The best thing about Bitcoin is that you own your money.
Sorting out the claims, developments, social trends, and memes is a lot. So this is our series, Trezor 101, where we'll teach you the basics of crypto and hardware wallets, and hopefully give a solid foundation of the world of cryptocurrency along the way. Since hardware wallets were invented for the purpose of managing cryptocurrency, it makes no sense to jump into them without talking about crypto first. Cryptocurrency is just a combination of two words: cryptography and currency. Cryptography, in simple terms, is using a code or a technique to obscure writing or information. You've probably seen basic versions of this idea before, like when someone takes the alphabet and shifts it over a few characters and then uses new letters to write the words. A becomes D, B becomes E, C becomes F, and so on. If you write the word hello with this system, for example, it's spelled K-H-O-O-R. If we change the system, say by reversing the alphabet instead, hello would become S-V-O-O-L. The problem with both of these examples is that they're incredibly easy to figure out. Or in other words, they're not very secure. If I send a message using a reverse alphabet, it might not be easily readable at a glance, but it could be deciphered quite easily by anyone that figures out the method I'm using. Now imagine this process using a computer. Computers are using dramatically more complex systems to obscure information. The meaning of the word cryptography actually changes slightly when it comes to computers, because instead of using it to obscure writing, computers use it to obscure data. Data in a computer can be almost any type of information. That data can take the form of writing, but it can also be files for a video or sensitive medical information. There's basically no limit to the type of information data can create. In the case of cryptocurrency, the data we care about for this explanation is called a wallet. I'm using some of these terms loosely, by the way. The data being sent in a crypto transaction isn't strictly confined to a wallet, but it's the easiest way of understanding it for now. Like the name implies, cryptocurrency wallets give access to cryptocurrency. And I'm using the term access intentionally here. Crypto is technically held on the blockchain. We're not going to go deep into blockchains for this video, but it's worth learning now that unlike a physical wallet, which holds cash, a crypto wallet gives access to funds held on a blockchain rather than holding the funds themselves. The other big difference between a physical wallet and a crypto wallet is that a cryptocurrency wallet is just a piece of data. It's represented as a long string of characters, which you may or may not have seen before. Like I said already, it doesn't literally hold cryptocurrency. We just use that term to essentially mean the cryptocurrency here on the blockchain is associated with and controlled by this wallet. So how is wallet accessed? How is it used? You have to have the key. Again, not a literal key, just like a crypto wallet isn't a literal wallet, but you might have noticed how we often use words that carry similar meanings to the processes they're involved in. A wallet key is typically referred to as a private key, which is a term you'll definitely run into more as you learn about crypto. The key to a wallet is also just a piece of data. And this is finally where the cryptography part of cryptocurrency comes in. Every private key, which is a piece of data, can be passed through a complex mathematical algorithm that proves it belongs to a specific wallet, which is just another piece of data. The key, which, similar to the wallet, is just a long string of characters, will always connect to the wallet's data after being passed through the algorithm, allowing it to be accessed. That's why it's called the key, because anyone who has it can access the wallet it belongs to, along with the crypto associated with it on the blockchain. And this is where the currency part of cryptocurrency comes in. If I have a wallet tied to cryptocurrency on the blockchain, I can use the key to access the wallet and send crypto to any other wallet I choose. The wallet on the receiving end can then be accessed by whoever holds the key to that one. That wallet could be held by an individual, a business, a website. It doesn't actually matter who the wallet belongs to, which is kind of the point. Cryptocurrency is designed so that it can pass freely between any and all wallets without having to be approved. As long as both wallets belong to the same network, such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, nothing can prevent a transaction from taking place. Speaking of Bitcoin, that's what most of the examples in this video were based on. There are thousands of cryptocurrencies in existence, which all vary to different degrees in how they behave on a technical level. But broadly speaking, they all follow the same concepts discussed here. There are traits that are common or important to cryptocurrencies as well, such as the blockchains mentioned earlier and decentralized networks. But we've largely kept those out of this particular video for the sake of simplicity. Blockchains will help shed more light on how cryptocurrency works on a technical level, and decentralized networks are a part of what help improve our current financial system. The strict answer to what is cryptocurrency is that it's a technology that utilizes cryptography to serve as a currency. The hope is that this video helped clarify what that means. But if you have more questions, we'll answer them in the comments, or you can explore other videos on our channel to learn more.